Hello everybody, welcome to another Bedroom Guru. I'm looking a bit dodgy today, and I've had a really bad week, to be honest with you. In bed a lot, but hey ho, it doesn't matter. It means I can write my book, I can write my articles, I can do my... Oh yeah, that's a new thing, by the way. I'm doing email readings now, angel tarot card readings. So if you want one, you can go to my website or Facebook or Instagram or Twitter with the details that are on there. If you forget what I'm going to say now. Oops! Oh my god! My camera's just dropped. How spooky is that? I think it just flew off the pillow. Joking. By the way, most of you can hear my Mia snoring in the background, bless her. Oh, to be content and snoring away. Anyway, yeah, I do email readings now because it's a really good way of me doing readings for you, because I can pick when to do them without, using my energy up too much. So if you're interested, as I say, go and have a look for further information on my social media places, and you can email me on nicky.alan@btinternet.com and wait in the list and you'll get a reading. Anyway, I am wanting to talk about a subject that some people can get a bit offended by. It's a very, very tenuous subject. It's only because that I've had a few emails lately and it's made me want to talk about this. It's about people holding on to their loved ones by getting readings from mediums. And it happens a lot. Let me try and give you an example. Many, many, many moons ago, I remember being asked to lunch by someone that used to come and watch me when I was serving spiritualist churches. And I went with my friend who's also a medium, and we went round a house, and it just felt a bit weird. It didn't feel like just a lunch, if you know what I mean. And I want to just say now that I don't go snooping around people's houses, all right? I don't do it. Perhaps it's a detective in me, a bit sus, have a little look round. But I was sitting in the lounge, and there was this bit of paper hanging out, and I could just see Nicky A, and I could just see that bit, right, hanging out under this magazine. And I just pulled it a little bit out, and it had Nicky Alan, and it had like a tick next to it and a star next to it. And I thought, the hell's all this about? And when I looked at the rest of the paper, I know it's wrong, but I suppose I was inspired to do it. There was all these different names of mediums that this woman had written out, and she was rating them and where they were going to be. She had this really, really comprehensive list of all of the local mediums and even mediums from afar. And basically, she was trying to keep, I thought, her son alive. I thought, well, don't be too judgy. Do you know what I mean? She might just want you here for lunch. And then as she walked in, she goes, oh, so can you feel my son around? I thought, oh, bless her. It was all about keeping her son alive through mediums. I've had it so many times. You've also got the people that will pay anybody, anywhere, to try and get a connection with their loved one, which then opens you up to the bloody scammers. Who'll go, oh, yeah, your son, your husband, your mum's here, don't worry, she's saying, and it's all a load of old pants, and you can, and that is where I think, all the skeptics will say, oh, you prey on vulnerable people. I think there can be an element of that if you go to the wrong mediums, because I actually refuse to do readings for people that haven't grieved properly, that I feel are trying to keep their loved ones alive. And I don't mean that in a detrimental way at all. I totally, totally get it. I totally get it. There is nothing more devastating than losing our loved ones, our pets. There is nothing on this earth that can ever make us feel better apart from time healing and perhaps counselling. But the wrong way is to try and keep them alive through mediums by getting that, that extra little nugget of information that is still there. The whole point of what we are trying to do as genuine mediums is to basically say to you, grieve naturally and healthily, accept that your loved one is in another place, get to a stage where you have accepted that physical loss, then seek spiritual guidance. And that is when you get this healthy connection with your loved one, where you'll then get evidence and signs that they're about. It's I suppose it's a lot easier for mediums because, my mum's been gone less than a year, bless her heart. She's only been gone, what is it now, 8 months? And it's really weird though, because as soon as she passed, yes, there is that human agony, but straight away, as a medium, I'm looking at where she is and what she'll be up to. And I use this analogy all the time with you, where you basically say to yourself, they've just flown on holiday somewhere. Do you know when someone's gone on holiday, you think, oh, I wonder if they're in the plane, I wonder if they're on the beach, I wonder if they're having a nice day. And it's very much what I do with Mum. And then, well, the signs were there as soon as she passed. She wanted us to get out after a few hours of watching her after she passed, and the lights dimmed and then almost exploded. Or one night did in the hospital room. Because I said, I think we better leave now. And the light went, and it went really, really bright. Then it went off, and then it came back onto normal. I went, yeah. So luckily, because I can see the signs and I understand how spirit work, it is a bit easier. It doesn't take the pain away, but yes, it is a bit easier for us. So I can't imagine how it is for people that have got no spiritual understanding or don't understand the process to go through grieving their loved one. Don't get me wrong. I know it sounds really weird, but when my dog went Mino, I needed bloody sedation. I was absolutely hysterical, because that's what happens. It's a human shock. It's the shock of thinking, my God, they're physically not going to be here anymore, and so I totally get that. And so the biggest thing that I deal with, and I did in the police service, was dealing with people grieving the loss of their loved ones. In the police service, it was even worse, because I was dealing with people who had been, killed by the people, and or their bodies were missing. I've seen every type of grief there possibly could be in a human. So I do get it. I totally get the fact that you want connection with your loved one. And, if I wasn't a spiritual person and understand the realms of the spirit world, and if I hadn't been taken up to heaven and seen how it all works, I'll be doing the bloody same. I remember another woman a few years ago, well, it was many moons ago actually, when I had my sanctuary at the bottom of my garden. I lived in Essex, and basically she had been paid fortunes, I'm not even going to lie, fortunes, all around the country trying to, get hold of her husband. And it was like, for God's sake, you've got to get counselling, you've got to get your grieving sorted. Don't do this to yourself. And on the other side of the token, you've got to look at your loved ones up in the spirit world. They must be going, oh my God, please, I'm with you. I'm standing with you right now. I know you can't see that because your energy's so low and you're grieving, but just, take a breath, go and get yourself well, grieve normally, and then let me come and see you and establish a relationship with you. So this is really not only about when not to see a medium, but how to get the best out of a medium. So when you've first lost someone, some of you, I hear thousands of people that get wonderful signs, and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe that, days or hours after their loved ones have passed, which is great. But as I'm talking about the people that are finding it hard to get over, obviously, the loved one that's passed, you need to go to bereavement counselling. You need to get support network from your friends. I've obviously done a video on grieving and things like that, but you need to make sure that you go through the natural process of grieving. As I say, I'm sure I've gone through this in another video about, the denial, the anger, the guilt, all of the different stages of the grieving process model. And you need to see if you are healthily being able to cope with them passing. Deep inside if you're coping well or not. If a year's gone by and you're still angry and you're still in shock and you're still really absolutely torn to pieces, then you need to get professional help for that. So once you've done that, some people, as I say, can get over it. Everybody's different. But if a medium is worth their lot, they will know if you are still in a really deep state of grieving, or you're ready to embrace the spiritual relationship that you can actually start with your loved one. And, I hear of people saying, oh yeah, I speak to my husband every month, I go to this bloke. And you think, I am a skeptic, right? And I am very aware of how some mediums out there could possibly think, well, I know her husband's died, and then just chat away and pretend it's the husband, right? I'm not dissing other mediums. I'm just being real here and saying what is out there. So you need to be very careful, and you need to trust who you're going to see as a medium. So let's just assume that you've taken on board the fact that you need help. You've gone to a bereavement counsellor. It's still difficult, but you feel like you're coping. The stage where you really should be seeing mediums is when you've come to acceptance, and there's this sad, melancholy feeling of your loved one passing, but you're ready to move on. You're ready to look to the future. You're ready to make change and make plans. That's the time when really healthily you should be seeking medium's help. Okay, so if you want to waste your money, that's up to you. But what your loved ones would want you to do is save that money and spend it on a really good bereavement counsellor. Okay, and there's, go by recommendation, word of mouth. Facebook is excellent for things like that. Can anybody recommend? Or even go to your local GP. With the services concerning counselling, you can get, I think it's 6 now, can't remember, 6 sessions via the NHS. But to be quite honest, if you're willing to pay money for a medium, then I would basically use that money to see someone privately, so you're getting as much as you need from someone that can sit there and give you time, rather than NHS. And I'm not dissing the NHS counsellors at all either, because they're amazing what they do. But all I'm saying is you've got a limited amount of time with them, because they're obviously seeing so many people. Whereas on a private basis, at least you're going to get your time and as much as you need, if that makes sense. So it depends on your budget. But as I say, if you can afford to spend money on readings, then, you can on a private counsellor. And, it just brings to mind another person that I know that spent, I think it was 250 quid on a reading, because someone thought they were so famous they could charge that, which was disgusting. And then they also were doing the psychic lines, spending an absolute godforsaken fortune on these bloody live psychic lines, which I hate, by the way. £1.50 a minute, taking the mickey, getting on my little soapbox. But yeah, so I just you are vulnerable, you are desperate. Please, please, please get guidance from someone that knows their stuff, and as I say, I will say to you, you are not ready. Go and get yourself well, go and grieve properly, go and get help from a well recommended bereavement counsellor. I will not do a reading for someone that is trying to keep their loved one alive. It is unhealthy, it's wrong, and I'm telling you now, most spirit people, your loved ones, will not come through and give you everything you need if they know that you're being not ripped off, but that you're spending your money trying to keep connected to them. They won't do it. You won't get that flow. You won't get the natural order of their communication if they know you're not ready. All right, it doesn't matter how desperate you are for a reason. If they know you're not ready, you're not going to get a full connection with your loved one. They'll be standing next to you. They'll be sleeping next to you. They'll be watching everything you do every day, and your family. But if you want a direct conversation and start a really good spiritual relationship with them, they're not going to jump into it if they know that you're still ripped apart inside and devastated by their loss. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. So no matter all these mediums will say to you, yeah, as I say, some of you might get great evidence and, you might get a lovely reading, but it's not healthy. You need to grieve. You need to be in a state ready to embark on this wonderful spiritual relationship you can have with your loved ones. And it is beautiful. It's so lovely. But that's a story for another day. I'm talking about mediums now. How to get the best out of a medium. So let's say that you're ready for your reading. You're ready to connect. Or some of you may just want to read in, you haven't lost anybody. Always, 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 always go by recommendation, okay? Everybody is as good as how they say they are. Look at testimonials. To see if they're genuine people doing the testimonials on the websites. If anything, before even looking online, I really hope that you'd get word by mouth. I can't remember. Recommendation. Bloody brain fog. Talking a load of old pads. So, for instance, I started up doing readings professionally full time, because I've been doing them for like 27, 28 years. But when I left the police service, I started doing them full time, and within I think it was about a week. I had a 6-month waiting list, and it's not saying, yay, let's big Nicky up. What I'm saying is that word of mouth. Got it. I think Teddy needs a wee. Hang on a minute. You're going to come with me through my house. Because I'm not pressing stop. You know why? Because then I've got to upload 2 linking videos. It's such a good time. Like his limelight boy. Don't look at the mess, because I'm obviously getting everything done. Come on then, Teddy. See, I know that's his I need a loo wine. Remember, I've got a lovely little garden. Oh, and I left my washing out. Anyway, that's the Nicky Alan tour. It won't be like this next week because everything's getting smashed to pieces. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So yes, word of mouth. So I literally had a 6-month waiting list after a week of doing readings, which is fabulous. But that was because of how I worked, obviously, not how much I advertised and how much telly I'd done and God knows what, you know. So have a look. Word of mouth recommendation is your first stop. God, I look rough, don't I? I'm so unwell at the moment. But hey ho. The next thing is as well is look at the pricing. Okay, I remember, I'm not going to say who it is, but I remember just out of interest emailing someone asking how much it would be. It was 250 quid for 30 minutes. Are they taking the piss or what? 250 quid? Jesus Christ. And do you know what? People are desperate enough. They pay that? What? I'm just speechless. I'll start swearing, so I'm not going to say anything. For Christ's sake. Don't waste your money. What the hell? That is a total exploitation. What's wrong with these people? I charge, and I hate charging this much. I charge £50 for an hour, and I think, oh my God, that's so much money, right? And everybody goes, oh no, I'll pay more than that because you're worth it. No. It's not about worth it. It's about being respectful of people's money and all the rest of it. Do you know what I mean? And even I hate that. But then saying that, we've got to, you know, put roofs over our heads. And, you know, lots of people say, oh, you charge. I'm going to digress a lot with this because lots of issues come up with this. Because, you know, like you get the skeptics and you get the trolls saying, oh, like, you know, you're taking money off people for what you do. And it's like, well, so do artists. You know, they've got a natural talent and they take money. Footballers play football and get millions. Nobody cares about that. Do you know what I mean? And it's not as if we go trawling and knock on people's doors and say, you will have a reading with me. You know, people come to us for guidance. And I'm happy to say that I'm one of the goodies. And so, yeah, pricing. For God's sake, please. Your average payment is going to be around £40-50. And then you'll get some mediums, obviously, who've either got husbands or... You know, they don't need to charge as much, so you might even pay as little as 30-25. You know, it depends on financial well-being at the end of the day. I'm on my own. I've got no family support in respect of money. If I don't earn it, nothing comes in. It's as simple as that. I can't work full-time at all. Can't even work part-time, really. And so, yeah, we do have to charge for our time. And it's not a charge to exploit people's, you know, desperation or their grief. It's because, you know, we've got a natural gift. And unfortunately, we live in a material world. I hate it. If I could do everything I do for free, I would. And I do. I do lots of, this is why I do this. This is why I do... you know, I'm emailing people all the time and advising people and helping them and not charging anything. But there is a, you know, a boundary where you have to think, well, I've got to charge something for something because otherwise there's going to be no food in the house, you know. So with that, make sure that they're not charging too much because you know what? If they are charging that much, over 50 quid, then they're in it for the money and they're in it to see how much they can earn, right? And just because they're on telly, just because they're, you know, done this and done that, it doesn't mean that they're great. It just means that they've got in either through knowing someone, or some of them are good. You know, I got in because I did loads of auditions and had to go through a massive process against many other mediums to do angels and things like that. But I didn't use that as a tool of, oh, now I've been on telly with Gloria Hunniford, I'm going to charge you like 250 quid. It's taking the piss. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But if you want to pay it, that's up to you. But I don't think so. Anyway, getting a bit leery today. It just really angers me. I just don't know how they get away with it, and I don't know why people pay it. I just think, oh God, it just makes me sad. It makes me pissed off. Anyway, so yes, so we need to find someone that's recommended, word of mouth preferably, and someone that's not charging you the absolute earth, okay? You're in a state of acceptance now. You're in a state where you're ready to, like, embark on a little communication. The best thing to do when you're going to a medium is make sure you're going on a day that you're not like, you've got to do shopping and the kids run and it's a stressed day. You need to make sure it's a day where you're relaxed and happy. So try and get it on a day off, or a day that the kids are going to get, be looked after and it's all going to run smoothly. Also, don't fit it in just before you got to pick the kids up from like ballet class or whatever, because again your mind's going to be, hurry up because I need to get there. You need to be in a space of complete relaxation with no stress of trying to get there or when you're leaving. This is like if we're having a face-to-face reading, by the way, so that's what you need to do there. Also, when you speak to the medium, again, if it's a medium that knows their soul, all they will want is just your first name, like I do, and a contact number. That's it, okay? So if they start asking you questions of, who do you want to contact and why you come in, just move on to the next one. We don't need to know that. We'll tell you that. Do you know what I mean? So don't say anything to them. If they start asking probing questions like that, then just say, do you know what, I'll leave it for the time being. Okay, I don't want to know a single thing about you apart from what your first name is so I can call you your name, and what your number is in case I have to cancel. Do you know what I mean? So don't do it to yourself. Don't go through that process of feeding them, so they know more or less where they're going to start on the reading. And trust me, it's very rare that you get these sort of mediums, but I'm trying to show you the good and the bad side of our industry. Do you know what I mean? So make sure you're relaxed, okay? If you want to, it depends. Some mediums, however, may say, can you bring... Oh, bloody hell. Some of the mediums will say... It's Teddy knocking it down. Come on. Some of the mediums will say, can you bring like an item of jewellery or something that connects to your loved one? That's absolutely fine because they're using what is called psychometry. And that's basically... energy that is connected to an object that would have belonged to your loved one that they can actually get a channel through from. Okay, so don't worry if they ask you to bring something like that or a photograph. That's absolutely fine because they're doing psychometry. There's there are all different ways that mediums work. Some of them use cards. Obviously, most psychics use cards, which I've already described to you before. Psychics are people that will blend with your energy and tell you about what's going on in your life and what's going on down on an earth experience. Mediums are the people that actually source their information from a different energy, whether it be angel, spirit, guide, whatever it may be. And so some mediums may use cards to help them progress the reading, so you get like a half psychic, half mediumship type of reading. Just as a little tip, when I used to go to psychic fairs as a person that wanted a reading, I would look and see who had the least bullshit on the table. It's like, oh my God, like all the crap, the crystals and all the crap they put on there. I just looked for the person that had no tools, for a medium this is, not for a psychic reading. No tools, just a nice little tablecloth over a table, just sitting there talking to you face to face. They're the ones that I went for. And so be aware of what you're going for as well. Are they psychic? Are they a medium? Or are they a psychic medium? Do they do both? You need really, if you want a connection with a loved one, then you're going to want a medium. And even better, if you could have a psychic medium that can go up and down and know what's going on in your life and what's happening around you, as well as connect with spirit people. That's the best one to go and see, okay? So find out what type of channeling they do, what type of thing they're going to offer you. So we're all relaxed, we're all chilled, and we're going off to see our medium. When you go in there, the number one thing is obviously some people are sceptical, right, including me. And so don't go in there thinking, right, she's going to try and do this, or he's going to try and do that. He's going to try and, like, you know, pick up on stuff, and I'm not going to tell him anything. If you go in too guarded, you are not going to get anywhere. Okay, so don't go in being defensive or guarded. The other thing is as well, and this is the worst, biggest problem that mediums have to deal with, right, is, hang on a minute, let me try and face that there, and hopefully Teddy won't knock it off. It's hurting my hand holding the phone. We've had a right old to do today, haven't we? Yeah. The other thing as well is that do not go into a reading just wanting one person to come through and that's it. Oh my God, it is the biggest nightmare of our life. I'm so sorry, Teddy keeps bloody moving the phone. It's the biggest problem that we have to deal with. So for instance, just say if you want Bob, your husband, to come through, right? So you walk in, you think, come on Bob, and I say, oh, you know, I've got your mum here. No. And then what happens is, it happens, people say to me, no, I don't understand that, because they don't want that, they want to hear from Bob. And I'm like, well, hang on a minute, she's coming through first. No, I don't really understand that. No, I don't really know why she's coming through. Right, you can't order from the divine, you can't decide who will come through. It is a completely, people humanise a connection with the spirit world, right? And you can't do that. It is a phenomenon that people, I think, because of television and media, have like put it into this human, oh well, yeah, I want to talk to Bob, can I have a chat with him, thank you very much, off I go. It doesn't work like that. We're dipping into esoteric realms. We're dealing with ethereal realms where anybody who feels that they need to come in that particular time to help you will do. So you'll get, I've done it before, where, you know, someone's son died and his son didn't come through, and then a mother-in-law she hated came through first of all. And I actually said after the reading, I said, what did mother-in-law come in for? I said, you know, she wanted to hear from her son. Oh my God, I got the biggest bollocking in my life from Juliana's, because how dare you think you can order from the divine? Did you have a connection with someone that's passed over and proved that they have lived after their physical death? Yes. Then don't ever speak to me of this subject again. I'm like, oh shit, okay. So don't go in there wanting just one person, because inevitably what happens is sometimes the spirit world will ease you into the reading, right? So your mother-in-law or your nan or whoever will come in first to just gently get you used to the blend of you, the spirit, and the medium, right? So they're easing you in. I had it, one that comes to mind is when I was doing an intimate evening in Kent, and basically the nan come through to this woman. I thought, she's not here for the nan, and then the nan brought a 9-month-old daughter through, right? And it was what she wanted. So embrace any spirit communicator, whether you hated them or not down here, right? Embrace them, because they may be getting you ready and easing you into the big shocker, which will be your husband coming through, that, you know, is going to affect you emotionally. So be open-minded. Do not expect or think what you're going to get through. Be open-minded to anything that happens, because if you create one block, because you think, oh, I don't want to speak to her, and you say to a medium, no, not really, you're going to break that link. You're going to break that natural flow, and it's all going to go wrong. Okay, we're not going to be able to grab hold of every single spirit connection around you. We can't order. You cannot order from the divine, okay? Don't, when you do answer questions, yes, that's right, or sorry, who's Bob? Oh, that's my husband. That's fine. You're just confirming what the medium has already confirmed. The medium should be talking more than you. If you do not answer and say, oh yeah, that's Bob, oh, he died on the 25th of September, and, you know, he was a great builder and he loved playing golf. Whoa, stop. Wind yourself back. Yeah, that's Bob. Okay, that's my husband. Leave it. All right? If you sense that they're asking too many questions, don't be scared to say, sorry, I thought you know, I would be asking the questions and you'd be telling me rather than asking the questions. Or, you know, bloody get up and walk out if you want to, if you think they're fishing. Do you know what I mean? But generally, all the mediums that I know don't do that. It's very rare, and they will give you the information. Okay, mediums work in all different ways. Some will give you names, addresses, really intimate details. Others will perhaps just give a vague description, but the messages from the spirit world will be absolutely spot on and brilliant. Okay, we all work differently. As long as you feel that you are getting information that no one else would know, or the fact that it's spot on to who you're, you know, talking with in the spirit world, then that's all that matters. You know, are you getting comfort? Are you getting enlightenment? Are you getting connection to someone that you absolutely know is that person? You know, so don't go in with this expectation. Be open-minded to it. Don't feed the medium. Don't tell them everything. Let them tell you. But also, don't be too abrupt in not saying anything. Like, you know, I've said, Bob's your husband then, is that right? Well, you tell me. I'm like, well, no, I'm telling you, love. You know, I've had that before, because I'm not being funny. When you do things like that, we think, you know, I need to say the F word then. F you, love. You know, you've got an attitude. I'm trying to help you here. And I've had that. You tell me. I said, well, I just have. Well, are you telling me? Yeah, I've just said Bob is your husband. Is that right? I've given you the information. I'm asking you if it's right. All you got to do is say yes or no. Well, might be, might not be. I'm like, oh my God, do you know what? You're wasting my time and you're blocking the energy of the flow. Just say yes or no. It's that simple. Do you know what I mean? So relax into it. There needs to be a nice, natural providing information, you confirming it. If they can't understand something, you validating it or saying, oh, actually, that's what that means. Okay, as long as you understand it, the medium will work to an extent where she might see a flash of something in her mind as if she's clairvoyant, and then say to you, why am I seeing a butterfly on a stick, right? And you go, oh, that's because, you know, don't say, well, I don't know, tell me more, because you've seen something that's really unusual. Do you know what I mean? And they will, if the medium's worth their meat, they will basically go in and find out what it's about. Because I remember, it always happens in bloody dems in theatres and stuff, where you get two people with the same similar person that's passed over. I went, right, I've had enough of this. They were both called Mary, or both nurses. It was just a nightmare. So I said, right, give me something that the other one definitely won't say yes to. So she showed me these giant snails, and I'm like, what the hell, like really big giant snails. I went, show me these giant snails, but I mean giant snails, not little ones, like big as your hand snails. She goes, oh yeah, she used to breed giant snails. I'm like, thank you. You know, so we do get there in the end. So be patient with your medium, okay? Once you've had the reading, don't then book another one a month later, all right? I don't want to remember you. Don't take this the wrong way, right? I know thousands of people through my work. However, I know them, perhaps to say, hey, hi darling, how you doing? But I cannot remember for the life of me what I said to them, the last connection. And it can be embarrassing for mediums, because I say, oh, do you remember, you know, you brought my mum through, and I think, I haven't got a bloody clue. Because it's not us creating a thought, it's not us creating the intention of what we're going to say. It's been channeled to us. We're just doing that. We're just talking about what we're feeling, seeing, knowing and sensing, right? And so we don't remember it. So I do not want to do a reading for you a month later, remembering, oh my God, her mum's passed, wasn't she a nurse, blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? So don't do it. You know, leave it at least 6 months, or leave it for a healthy time where the medium isn't going to remember you or your connections, because it's easy then, isn't it? And plus, I don't like it, because if I've done a recent reading for someone, I think, hang on a minute, do I remember that? Or is that from the spirit world? And it just you know, it clogs up the connection, and it just makes it a bit harder, darling. So try and space out your times of having readings. As I said, there's some people, God, I'm sure he does it to try and bloody get the limelight. Basically, try and space them out, because, yeah, so I was going to say, I know someone that goes, oh yeah, I go and see someone every month. I'm like, every month? I said, what? That's just hanging on to like a life of what the psychic says. It's ridiculous. So don't do that to yourself either. You know, spend the money on a spa day. Don't keep bloody going every month to someone. Obviously, you know, go to spiritualist churches. You could get a message every time, and that's brilliant, you know. But they're not seeing you on a one-to-one basis and knowing about your life or remembering things. You know, they're just delivering a message to someone in an audience, so you can go there to them as much as you want. You know, and I think that's a great comfort for you. You know, especially if you're grieving. and you got to a stage of reasonable acceptance, a bit too scared to go and have a one-to-one, go and dip your toe in at a spiritualist centre, sit in the audience and see what happens. And then if you get picked out of an audience, you know that they're ready to talk to you. Do you know what I mean? Because they're picking you out and going, oh, we want to talk to you. So there are ways and means of doing it. I know it's been a bit of a it's not exactly been a love and light session, is it, this time? But it's just something that I wanted to bring up because it's just a couple of females I've had recently, and I'm starting to think, do you know what? I need to just tell people about this, because there are people that are saying, oh no, I want to read it, I want to do this. And I'm like, no, God, you so need help to grieve. You just don't do this to yourself. So it was just a little guidance for you. And I was going to go into more, but bloody hell, up to 35 minutes. Where does the time go? So I'll leave it there for the time being. Please subscribe to this channel if you're having a look, so that I know how many people I'm reaching, because I love that. I love to see how many people I'm reaching. And if you think this is going to benefit anybody that obviously, you know, is going through grieving or is thinking about seeing a medium, then please send them this video so that they can have a bit of guidance, or, you know, give them my email and I can give them some guidance on what to do, because you're going into dangerous territory. You know, you're going to see someone that's going to be potentially bringing intimate issues of grieving and passing of a loved one, and it's not good unless you're healthily ready for it. Okay, guys? So with that, I'm going to love you and leave you, because I am really knackered. I've been in bed for days, been ill. Do you feel sorry for me? You're joking. Look, there's Teddy trying to take the limelight as usual, bless his heart. So it just leaves me to say thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for listening to me. Sorry I look as rough as the badger's bottom. And I'll speak to you next time. Take care. By the way, today is the autumn equinox, so it's time for change. It's time for letting go of old stuff, decluttering, saging your home, planning new things, looking for a different shift, a different start, perhaps start a new hobby, start something that you've wanted to do for a while. So it's a good day to do that until midnight tonight. So think about that as well if you watch this today on the 23rd of September. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you and have a cup of tea. Mwah. Take care. Bye. And it's still going. It says it's locked. What is going on? It says it's locked. Do they want me to carry on talking? The thing is though, right? They want me to carry on talking, but it's 37 minutes now and you'll be like, what's occurring? How weird is this? It's lucky I didn't blow off or something, isn't it? Thinking I've pressed stop and then, oh, that's better. I'm terrible, aren't I? I don't know what is occurring here, but I can't stop the recording. Isn't that weird? Is there anything else you need me to say then, guys? Right, okay. Right. Bloody hell, this is a bit weird. Right, basically, the other thing I was going to say is we are now legally bound to say, yep, thank you, that everything's for entertainment purposes only. There was basically a bill that went through Parliament by skeptics who said that we should be like under the, I can't remember what it's called, Consumer Act or something, because we're providing a service and taking money. So basically, when you'll see it on all of mine, you have to do a disclaimer now. We have to get insurance. Yes, thank you. We have to get insurance because we are regulated, which I think is a good thing, but it isn't to a certain extent, because the naughty mediums that like rip people off obviously haven't got a high profile, and they like don't pay insurance, and people like me that are quite well known, most probably the ones that are open to somebody trying to sue you. Anyway, someone tried to sue me once, saying that I pushed a chair back in a workshop and they tripped over a step, and they said because I told her to put the chair back in the workshop it was my fault. Anyway, moving on from that. Yes, we're regulated, so we have to say that it's for scientific purposes only, and therefore results cannot be guaranteed. Basically, we have to say that as a legal disclaimer as part of this new legal bill that came in years ago. It's not a get out. It's not us saying, look, you know, we're saying this because we don't believe what we're doing. It's because legally we have to say that. So make sure that you go to someone that is insured, please, because then at least they are professional and have got a proper setup. All right. Also, when you come back from the reading, oh, that's the whole point. Yeah, I've got you. All right, thank you. It's Catherine. Basically, when you, it's one of my guides, when you ask about recording readings, legally, we are not allowed to have them recorded. I let people that I don't know if I should be saying this, but I let people who I've known for years record it, friends or people that I know well, because I know that they're not going to put it into different hands, because what we can't do is have it recorded and then you play it to someone else and it's about them, because that's not great, is it? But legally we're not really allowed to record them. So take a dictaphone with you if you want, or take a notepad with you, or write down everything straight after the reading. So I promise you now, because you'll be in a, oh my god, he said that, and what else did he say? You're going to forget everything. Okay, but as I say, don't worry if a medium says to you, I'm sorry I can't record it, because these legal constraints we've got now, we're not allowed to. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that's a relevant thing that I had to say. Thank you. So yeah, that's the reason why you'll get that stupid legal disclaimer, everything, you know, scientific purpose only, therefore results can't be guaranteed. We have to do it with workshops, meditations, everything now, because the skeptics wanted us to, bless their hearts. Which is fine. I suppose it helps regulate, but I don't know how. Just means that we've got to pay even more money for insurance. Hey ho. So yeah, so make sure that you establish how you're going to record or remember the reading, because seriously, it's like, do you know when you go to like a stand-up comedian and you're laughing the whole time through, and then you go back home and you can't remember half the jokes he said? It's a bit like that. You will not remember half of it, especially if you've got a good medium on your hands and they are blowing you away with information. You're going to forget half of it. So take a notepad with you, or even better, take a friend with you. There is a possibility that the medium could pick up on your friend's energy, but at least you can sit there and write all the stuff for you, you know. It's all gone really weirdly light. I feel like I'm in heaven, isn't it? Is it just gone all light, or is it me? Spooky stuff happening in here, isn't there? Look, everything's gone really white. Yeah, so that's your little guide for seeing a medium. If there's anything else that I've missed out, let me know. But you know me, I could talk for hours, but I know that people get bored, and it's now 42 minutes. So I'll love you and leave you, hopefully, and I hope that's helped you understand a bit more about how we work. All right then, take care, babes. Bye.